It's best to practice left turns in an area where you have a protected left turn. And we take our unprotected turn only because that truck was also turning left. Hi, it's Jacqueline, and I'd like to talk to you about recommendations for scaffolding your driving practice. When you're learning to drive, you want to follow steps that will safely prepare you for the conditions that you're going to meet. The first thing you want to do is just sit in a car and practice using the buttons. Practice putting on your turn signals, practice using the windshield wiper, maybe the horn. Make sure that you understand where the gear shift is and how to engage it. Make sure you know how to turn on your headlights in case you need them. And be sure that your seat and your mirrors are positioned correctly. Once you feel comfortable in the car and you have a sense that you'll be able to use the car's features as you need them, then you want to drive on a quiet road, preferably one that's well marked, because that will make it easier for you to follow the road signs. Practicing driving straight at first is probably going to be the easiest, and choosing a place where the speeds are slow, in a residential area, for example, going 25 miles per hour or 15 in caution areas, will give you the practice you need to figure out how to use the gas pedal, how to accelerate gently, and stop smoothly. It'll also help you understand how to steer the car. It'll give you examples of following your limit lines to the left and right and staying in your lane position. And once you feel comfortable going straight, the next step is for you to practice making turns. You'll want to make sure that you begin making turns in safe spaces. For example, if you're making left turns, it's best to practice left turns in an area where you have a protected left turn. Left turns are especially dangerous because on a left turn, if you don't have a protected turn, you have to be aware of oncoming traffic. So choosing a safe practice space will help you feel safer as you're figuring out how to operate the car while you're rolling and interpreting other vehicles and pedestrians. And it will also help keep your passenger feeling safe. And the safer your passenger feels, the more driving practice you'll get. Practicing left and right turns takes a lot of practice because you have to add checking the blind spot, understanding how much to rotate the wheel, and then understanding how to straighten up to come out of your turns. So you'll want to pick a neighborhood that has a nice grid pattern. That way you can practice making 90-degree turns, and you'll start to develop an understanding of how much you need to turn the wheel, how long to hold it, and when to straighten out. And sometimes just zigging and zagging through a neighborhood is all the practice you need to perfect your right and left turns. And again, starting in a neighborhood that is a grid shape will give you predictable patterns on your left turns and your right turns. So you'll just get to repeat those patterns and they'll become really intuitive. Your friends and family members that have been driving a long time know exactly when to stop. They know when it's important to creep up and do a second stop. And they know exactly how much to turn to land in their position. While you're learning, you might put special emphasis on the stamps on the ground so that you can just do a reconfirmation that you're in the correct spot. Once you've practiced in a light residential area, doing your right and left turns, your next growth area will be going out onto a 2-lane road and driving at higher speeds with traffic. Remember that you're building up from feeling safe and comfortable, just understanding the car at a stop position. Then you'll start and just work on driving straight for a while. Stay in a neighborhood so that you can practice driving at slower speeds while you're working out your left and right turns. And then advance to a 2-lane road with higher speeds when you feel like you're ready to take in more stimulation. And now that we're doing an unprotected turn, we waited for through traffic to clear, and we take our turn only because that truck was also turning left. And those are the kinds of things that you figure out in your driving practice, and that your car coach, either a driving instructor or family member or friend, will help guide you. If you really want to pass the road test, then you need to check out Zutobi. Zutobi helps you focus on what's important for your test and then teaches you how each maneuver should be done correctly, step by step. Not only will you be more prepared for your driving test, you'll also feel more confident and safe when you're driving. As we're entering into this busier space, remember we've built up to this, and we're just going to take our place on the road. From this position, I can't see a speed limit sign, but I know that the speed on this road is 30, and that's because it's a wider road with a median, so it's safer for pedestrians if cars are going faster. On those narrow roads we just went through, the speed limit was 25, max speed in a residential area, just in case there are people crossing or potential hazards for us to watch out for. And if we were going into the parking lot ahead, we can see that the speed limit would be 5. We go slowest in a parking lot because we're worried about people who are walking from their cars to the stores. And just as I turn onto this 2-lane road, I see the speed limit sign on the right, and I just calibrate my speed right at 30. And now I get to practice maintaining my lane position, maintaining my calibration point for my speed. And once I give myself time to feel comfortable driving on a 2-lane road, I can add the next skill, which is lane changes. When I'm making a lane change, I check the rear view mirror, signal, check side mirror and blind spot, and then I gently veer into my new lane. You'll want to add lane changes to your practice once you're comfortable controlling your speed, checking your mirrors and your blind spot. And you want to make sure that you don't accidentally oversteer. So you'll want to make sure that you're really comfortable with your thumb grip and your steering. If you oversteer on a lane change, it feels a little jerky and it could feel a little awkward for you and your passenger. Running a driving school isn't easy. Between high operating costs, managing student requests, and delivering top-notch instruction, it's a lot. Zutobi Instructor helps smooth out your day-to-day operations with features like automated scheduling and online payments. You'll also get our best in the nation in-class and online curriculum with engaging videos, immersive driving simulations, and more. Driving schools all over the country are already making the switch and loving the results. It's super simple to get started. Visit Zutobi.com to book a demo or click the link in the description. And now that we have scaffolded and practiced understanding how to build up our skills from sitting on the side of the road, just getting comfortable, to driving straight and understanding our boundary lines, to making right and left turns in neighborhoods, and then going out onto light commercial roads and driving with traffic, building up to doing lane changes, getting comfortable with higher speeds, and only then would you add the freeway. So we're going to jump on the freeway, adding that last skill, just so you can get a picture of how driving lessons are built upon each other, one after the other. My driving students do 4 90-minute lessons. So in each 90-minute lesson, we build upon the skills that they already have and really try to stretch to add new skills. Because at the end of the day, you want to be able to drive safely anywhere you want, whether it's out to a job that's further from home or just to run a local errand in the neighborhood. It is important to know that you do not have to drive on the freeway for your driving test. You can become a safe and licensed driver just by practicing in residential and light commercial areas. The freeway is only something that you want to add to your toolbox if you feel like driving on the freeway would be a quicker option for you. For example, if your route to work included the freeway, you'd want to make sure that you do some freeway practice. But again, you never have to go on the freeway for the test, and there are plenty of places you can get to without going on the freeway. But when you are ready to start practicing on the freeway, remember, your lane is marked by limit lines to the left and right. You safely share space with other cars. You control your speed and steering, and you use your rear view mirror primarily to get that mirror image of what's coming up behind. You use your side mirror and your blind spot if you're making a lane change. And I made that lane change very intentionally, getting ahead of the white car and taking the spot available to me, because I know that this right lane ends up ahead. And I like to make my lane change early so I can avoid the last minute congestion. But this last minute congestion is going to give us a really good opportunity to accept and yield to other cars. We notice the white stamp and the yellow sign showing us that the lane ends, and we're going to allow at least the blue car to merge in front of us. The orange truck behind us to the right is likely going to merge in behind us, and it should feel like a zipper. It's much more fun to practice freeway driving when freeway's flowing at higher speeds. But I'm glad in this example, we really got to grow from the side of the road to driving in and out of freeway traffic. And the most important thing, no matter where you are and where you're learning, is that you're aware of other cars and you understand how to be flexible and how to take up space safely. So today you've taken some time out of your day to watch this video. And the next step is for you to take some time and get out and practice yourself so you can notice motorcycles coming from the right, parked cars, or right-turning cars, pardon me, a mama that just passed with her baby in a stroller, workers that are crossing the road. All of these things are part of how we move safely through the neighborhood. And you will build up to this. You'll go from a neighborhood to shopping to the freeway and back to parallel parking, and it'll all come together for you with more practice. Thanks for checking in today. Have a great rest of your day. Bye-bye.